Yellow. So, you'd like to buy a rifle for prepping, home defense, or joining a militia. Well, before we get started, like, share, and subscribe, and shall we begin? Well, where to start? What's your primary concern then? Whether it be for home defense, prepping, or joining a militia. Is it animals? Well, then all you have to do is think about, what's the size of the animal in question? If it's a mid-size animal, then you don't need as powerful a cartridge. Common intermediate cartridges will do just fine. If it's a large animal, you might want something a little bit bigger. If the concern is other people, though, say an angry, politically charged individual seeking to do your harm, or a criminal, then, a larger or a smaller intermediate cartridge will do just fine either way. Although, you can meet them in the halfway point and just get a larger, full-sized cartridge that is effective in defending from hostile individuals and animals from a mid to a large-sized game. You have to think about what ranges you'll be dealing with. Particularly short ranges, you can get particularly compact and short rifles. Although if it's too short of a rifle, it will need to go through a special process in order to own that rifle by getting an NFA tax credit. Now, when it comes to animal size, if you are a prepper, then that is of very good priority, as a prepper also has to be concerned with hunting. Unless they have no real interest in hunting, you can do that as well. However, many do. Now, as to actions, if your primary concern is hunting, then lever actions and bolt action are a very good option for you. However, if the concern is other people, then you should seek whatever advantage you can get. And that, for many of a civilian, is a semi. Do I feel a bolt gun or a lever gun can be effective in the field of home defense and militia work? Well, with training, yes, they can be very effective tools for that, despite the obvious disadvantage of rate of fire. Well, what to look for in a rifle? Well, is it modern or surplus? There are many good milsurp rifles that can be bought for reasonable prices. In the field of semis, you have, for modern production, there is a number of modern AR, AK, G3, and FN FOUL civilian productions that are able to be purchased. In the field of surplus, there are PSLs, you have Dragunovs, and Stastava M76s, and M91s as well. Not to mention VZ52s and SKSs crop up on the market as well. SKSs happening to be one of my favorite rifles, as both a hunting option and for home defense. As to bolt guns, there's a number of modern bolt guns that are fairly good in this regard, as there are a number of bolt gun options on the market which fit the roles needed, as there are some common hunting rifles which have conversion kits to give them enlarged detachable box magazines for rapid reloading, and a good gunsmith would be able to shorten the barrels if needed. Top of that, a lot of civilian rifles still do come with iron sights, which are always a good option, as if it comes with iron sights, you don't necessarily need to buy an expensive scope, so to save a little money. There are also a number of purpose-built compact bolt guns, which would be a good option, such as ranch rifles, hog rifles, trail rifles, guide guns, ranch rifles, and my personal favorite, the scout rifles, which I actually own and am quite satisfied with, both as a hunting rifle and a backup home defense rifle. As to milsurp bolt guns, you have Arisaka rifles. There's a lot of good ones of those out there. You have various Mauser derivatives. Those are always a good choice. There's a number of surplus rifles, usually for a decent price, Sometimes not so much, depending on how rare they are and the demand, of course. Mosin Nagats are good in that regard. The 9130s tend to be fairly abundant. You can have one, and if you have any more, you can have a capable gunsmith shorten them and redo the wood so it still looks nice. The carbines, a decent gunsmith should be able to put modern sights on without messing up the furniture. Also, there are some modern stocks designed to take, particularly the 9130s, transfer it into a modern stock and have a decent gunsmith cut it down and recrown it, put a modern scope on it. Particularly, you can take the 9130 and turn it into a scout configuration, either doing that or leaving it in its own old furniture. A good choice would also be the Madsen M47 if you can get one. They crop up on the market every now and again. They're fairly nice rifles. Now that we've gone through all that, there are some considerations. You have to be able to maintain that rifle. You got to be able to get ammunition for that rifle. You can become a reloader. That's a good talent to have, and you can save some money doing that. You need to practice with your rifle, get whatever training you can. It's also a pretty good idea to have more than one rifle, a primary and a secondary, and if you can afford it, one in storage somewhere, just in case. Well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you for your time. Like, share, and subscribe, and see you around.